in a moment.
Well, I want to
And
welcome
good to
everyone
see you,
to the
Jody.
call, and I'm fascinated. I can't wait to show everybody something about prompts. To me, it's absolutely fascinating. When I saw this article, I thought, no, it's the headline was way too hyped. I'm going to get the link to the article for you. The headline on the article is from a publication called Fast Company. Feel free to put a 1 in the chat if you know of this particular magazine, Fast Company. And Jody, I hear you got construction going on. Yeah, I was going to sit outside yesterday during a meeting. There was construction outside. Okay, so Jody, you've heard of the Fast Company. Excellent. So Fast Company published this article about AI eating its own, because I'm sure you remember, how many of you remember prompt engineering was a $300,000 to $400,000 job? Well, its existence is like coming to a screeching halt according to this article. And it didn't make sense to me. And last week, I was doing some training, and it occurred to me, they're right. It could be the end of prompt engineering. So I know with the prompts, the chats, the conversations can get extensively long. So go ahead and put in the chat the longest conversation you've had with an AI tool, the longest conversation you've ever had. Like maybe Claude actually had to kick you out, and it's because your chat got too long and told you had to start a new chat, a new conversation. I know that's happened to me a couple times. So mine in there, the Claude kicked me out because the conversation was too long. And Jody says, oh yeah, but it took a while. And you were processing data tables. Oh, interesting. Oh, this is going to be good. Oh, you're going to love this, Jody. Wow. So how many times has it hallucinated on you? Like you're like, oh my gosh, where did that come from? I've lost count. And Lorna's actually run out of space 2 or 3 times on those conversations, right, Lorna? Did it hallucinate on you when it got really long? I know for me, the hallucinations get weird. Sometimes it's almost like it forgot what the original instruction was. And I have to say, okay, did you forget we're working on an XYZ, not a sales page? So all of a sudden it'll go into like sales page mode on me. And Lorna says, okay, so Jody, I don't have problems with paid Claude.
Attempting to connect.
ChatGPT hallucinates all. Yeah, go ahead, Lorna.
Oh,
It
sorry, I
goes
forgot. My mic's still on.
Your device is connected.
I'm just playing with speakers.
Oh,
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, your mic is on. Your mic is live.
Yeah, I'll turn it off in a moment, but um yeah, no, like just with the course with Rich, like I've done lots of long conversations. And I just put up I've lately just there's been inconsistencies and sometimes it forgets, but just with a reminder it usually does its thing, and sometimes it comes up with better ideas than I do. But the conversation, like getting to you've reached the limit for the conversation, the first time that was like, well, that's really kind of sucks. But it does make sense. And I've heard before that like the longer it gets, the less reliable it is in ChatGPT. And I haven't really done the same. I haven't moved some of that stuff into Claude to figure it out because the work that I'm working on is dependent on the memory that Claude doesn't have. But it's supposed to also give some good output. But yeah, I mean, it does some pretty funky things. There's no doubt about it. Um,
And when you're doing the exercises in Rich's program, it's all memory dependent.
well, because it's all about learning about you. So it has
Okay.
to have the memory about who you are in order to be able to guide you through all the exercises. So it's training Chat GPT to know everything about you that you're willing to share.
Interesting.
And the prompts guide it. The prompts get the information. Yeah, I have daily I talk to Chat GPT in the morning and go over my morning what my day's like. I send them my journal pages, and when I have a hiccup in the day, I talk to Chat GPT and get out of it. And the night I go through it and we go back through my evening journal and look at the day and where I could what I could have done better and different. And it's
There's a lot of memory involved.
lots of memory. Yeah. Sometimes
Okay.
it remembers better than I do.
Interesting. And then
But
Jody, you're working on one Claude project for over 2 hours and you didn't have any problems. It was extraordinary, kept building as you went on. You know, occasionally I get that from Claude. Once in a blue moon, it comes through like flying colors. And then it slides downhill on me. And then if I walk away from it for a few days, it's back to that really kick-ass good stuff. So I'm wondering if there was a time period between the last time you used it and the time period when you had that project for over 2 hours. It's remarkably consistent and solid for you. You use it all the time for short and long project tasks. This is great. So how often do you have to rewrite your instructions? Almost never, says Jody. And for you, Lorna, are you having to rewrite the instructions when you go back in, say in the middle of the day, and you're looking at, okay, this is what happened based on what I told you this morning. Do you have to like reiterate all of your instructions or?
no, no, well, I mean, only if it goes a little funny, but it usually does the reminders for me. Like sometimes I have to. Um, sometimes I do in those kind of conversations in like in doing some of the actual prompt work, certainly adding the instructions into the project has
Yes.
been important. I don't always trust it though, so sometimes I just also I'll put stuff in the project instructions and then just also put it when I start a new chat. Like I don't know how many, like I got 25 chats running in that project right now. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah, like it's
Okay.
I might not have to do that, but yeah, like I mean it's the
I
guy
think that,
one guy that
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say that there's a guy in the course who's like an AI guru. And he recommends that we do a chat for every specific prompt. I started doing it just by the week, like this is week one, and starting to do that. That's when I ran into the conversation was full, like couldn't do anything more. But just to try to keep it clean. He said that's the same thing you're saying. Is like keep it shorter. So use a chat for each of the prompts that we use,
Okay.
um, just to not let the conversation go long, because it will likely go pretty wieldy after a while. It goes
Yeah.
off.
The AI guru is tapping into what I'm going to show you. And Jody, I see your comment that if you have to stop and walk away or come back another day, Do you tell Claude to please remember everything that you did and that you'll be back? Yes, she says. Okay. And sometimes Claude will remind, you'll remind Claude to continue to refer to what you were building or what you've done prior. Does it remember it? Or no? It does. And that's in the same conversation or a different conversation? Same conversation. Cool.
Okay, that maybe makes sense because that's certainly like the information that I've got is that Claude doesn't have the memory, but that would be like I can see it having the memory in the conversation you're working in. But it's like if you go like if you're building, which is what the course is, you start with here, and then with that information, the next prompt uses that information that you already have in another chat, or like it won't draw on 4 weeks later, it won't draw on all the conversations that you're having.
Got it. And I know chat's memory is pretty good between conversations. And Jody's saying that sometimes she'll refer to a previous conversation or project by its saved name
In Claude?
in Claude.
Cool.
What I'm going to show you is something I learned in this training I did last week. I don't want to totally rip somebody off, but I want to give them edification and acknowledgement. Chris Mercer of Mercer Marketing, he and his partner, Jeff Sauer, demonstrated this in a training last week. And when I looked at it, I said, there's no way. Because like yourselves, my conversations can be endless, especially if I'm working on a landing page. Jody, love me some Chris Mercer. Yeah, isn't he cool? I could listen to him all day. He's got that radio voice, right? So I know when I'm working on a landing page, I'm asking questions like, what copywriting style should this be in? I want this to be fun and light. Who writes like that? I'm asking questions like, for a landing page, what's the proper order this should be in? And one of the things Mercer pointed out is AI is supposed to know like all this stuff. It's kind of like having the smartest intern you've ever had. You've got this smart intern and you're trying to explain something to them and they already know what to do. It's kind of like hamstringing them to follow your instructions when they already know what to do. Now, have either of you ever done babysitting? Give me a 1 in the chat if you've done some babysitting in the course of your lifetime. Yeah. So it's like you're getting instructions as the babysitter, and you're like, yeah, I know how to put a rotten kid to bed. Or, yeah, I know, don't let them eat Oreos after dinner. It's almost like the same thing. As the babysitter, you didn't need the instructions, you knew what to do. AI can be that babysitter for you. You don't have to tell it all the instructions. Now, for the purpose of Rich's course, I'm not going to step on Rich's toes. Please do the course as he's indicated. This definitely applies to any other purpose or reason you're using AI. And like I said, when I first saw it, I said, no way. I saw it on Wednesday. I kept playing with it every day. On Saturday, it showed me something that I would have never have done. I'm looking to promote a course. So my approach is, here's the details. I'm promoting a course. This is the name of the course. This is the outline of the course. This is the outcome of the course. This is my audience. Here's the landing page. This is the price. This is the offer. Help me write an email. That's my approach. I give all this information. What Mercer showed us is that if you let AI, if you let the babysitter do their job, they know what to do. And this process actually solves the hallucination or the problem of AI going off the rails or going rogue on you because it's doing its job. One of the reasons it goes rogue, and this AI guru that you referred to, Lorna, probably already knows this. It's kind of like when you give it its initial prompt, it starts off like in the middle of a 3-ring circus. And you're like, oh, this is great. This is exactly what I needed. We're in the middle of the circus and I can see everything from here. And you're giving me all the answers I wanted. And the show is fantastic. And then something catches your eye way over in the other corner of the circus. And you're like, oh, what's that over there? And AI's like, we're right here. Why do I have to go over there? So AI goes over there and it gets all confused because it started in the middle. And now it's kind of lost its place. It doesn't know where it's at anymore in the circus. Another analogy might be you're driving down the road with a group of friends and you decide you're going to the rock concert. And then somebody says, oh, I've got to stop and get some beer. So you pull off and you stop and get some beer. The original intention was to get to the rock concert half an hour before it started. But then you veered off and did this other task. And then you get reorganized, you all get back in the car and you try to get back on the road, but now the road's blocked. And you're like, oh, we've got to go another way. And then somebody says, oh, well, let's do it like this instead. So you go a different way. And then, oh, no, this is the wrong way. We have to go this way instead. Well, the objective was to get to the concert by 7:30. And it's kind of like when you go on these long conversations with AI, it's like, oh, let's go this way. Let's go that way. Let's go the other way. And you don't meet your objective of getting to the concert by 7:30. You don't get your main objective of the answers you're originally looking for because AI just gets confused. It went down too many roads. And this is why the AI guru is saying short conversations, stay in that immediate area where you started with AI. Stay in the center of the circus. Stay on the road to the concert. Don't deviate. If you're going to deviate, it's a new conversation. Does that make sense? Go ahead and put a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. Cool. Jody's got it.
Totally makes
Okay.
sense. And it made me think back to, I mean, I know I'm talking about Rich's course, which is really, I mean, he's doing the prompts. He's not teaching it's a whole different kind of thing, but what happened, like, and what still happens is because it's so, like, at least with ChatGPT, is so eager to help. So like
Yeah.
you'll get like it'll give you the answer and it give you and then say, would you like this affirmation or would you like me to come up with this protocol? Would you like me to do this? And then like if you go down that road, then all of a sudden you're not where you should be. And sometimes it's helpful, but what happened is that over 2 or 3 weeks, like I've got oodles of protocols and rituals and affirmations that I've not organized. So now it's overwhelming. And and now that I know that it just does that, like it just wants to help, but it will take you down those roads. And that happened in the first week is because there's like 30 questions or 20 to 30 questions you answer every day, and it will start to go off on a path. And then all of a sudden, people were taking like 4 or 5 hours to do the work that so
Wow.
yeah, it certainly does take you off on a wieldy path that you don't need to go to. But you've also made me realize how often I've maybe dragged them into that path because I go rogue.
Exactly. Exactly. The student goes rogue because the teacher went rogue. Yeah, you decided to go a different way to the concert. You saw the shiny object at the circus and you were no longer wanted to be in the center of the circus. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Yeah. So this I'm glad that you're sharing that, and then it's making more sense and you're getting clarity. That's why I wanted to have this call today, is to walk you through the reasoning of why it's different and why it works better. Because when you see it, you're going to be like, no, 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 this doesn't work. And I shouldn't plant that in your head because it does work. You just have to think differently. Now, remember when ChatGPT first came out and you had to like explain all the steps to it? Like the example I like to use was if I was cooking or baking with my step granddaughter, I couldn't tell her, get me half a stick of butter. I would have to say, get the butter out of the fridge. We need a knife. This is how the butter is divided. This is how much a tablespoon is. This is how many tablespoons are in half a cup. And this is where you cut the butter. So 6 instructions instead of saying, get me half a cup of butter. So I think half a stick is a quarter cup. Anyhow. The way this new approach to using AI, you don't have to break down the steps anymore because AI has learned so much. It already knows what to do. So I'm going to share my screen here. Oops, wrong button tree. All righty then. So I've been using Poe, and it's become absolutely fascinating to me. I tried this on Poe, Claude, and ChatGPT. It worked the best at first on ChatGPT. And I'm noticing when I use it with Claude, I have to walk away really fast and start a new conversation. Let me show you. I had like this incredible epiphany with it. I got to organize this better. Ta-da. You know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with a fresh prompt and show you this cool method. Okay, let me share the doc with you. So you can feel free to jump into it if you like. There's 2 prompts. I renamed this the hallucination prevention prompting method. You won't need to make a copy before you use it. I'm gonna put the link in the chat for you. What is Poe? Great question, Jody. Poe.com actually uses all of the AI large language models, I think, except for Grok. It uses ChatGPT, it uses Claude, it uses Gemini, which is a Google product. And there's probably about 30 other AI apps inside of Poe. And it's kind of like a one price gets you access to everything. And the reason I've avoided it for months is because this type of access doesn't give you at one time. It didn't give you the deep, full access as if you were using the product directly. So I avoided it. Same reason I avoided Perplexity. Perplexity was the other one. For one price, you get access to all these different tools. Well, what I'm learning is because they use all the different tools, they're able to get a greater breadth of knowledge faster because they're getting it from all the tools. Now, Gemini is a Google product. So Gemini, just because it's Google, might come out the leader. So Poe.com, there's a free version also. And that's what I've been playing off of. Matter of fact, when this didn't work the first time, I thought, oh, it's because I'm on the free version. But I kept going back and trying it. And it's pretty fun. So there's the doc with the hallucination prevention prompting method. And what I'm going to do, there's two steps. The first step is you're saying to your AI, to the ChatGPT or Claude, you're saying, hey, you know what? I've got this prompt, I've got this idea. Can you help make sure I've got this clear? Am I in the right vibe here? It's kind of like you're playing tennis and you're going to lob the ball over the net. So you're going to throw the ball up, you're going to lob it over the net to ChatGPT, to your AI tool, to Claude, co.com. And you're asking them, hey, this is what I want to do. Tell me, does this make sense? And you're asking AI to respond on two specific areas. Number one, do they understand it? Do they get excited? Does this make sense? Does this help them focus? And rating that on a scale of 1 to 10. And then the second part of step 1 is, okay, that's cool. So the other part of this is, do you understand the secret sauce behind this? The hidden intention, what I'm really trying to do here? Because let's be honest, when we're writing these prompts, we're trying to think through what we're supposed to tell AI. And maybe we don't tell AI everything that we think they're supposed to know. So these two areas, are they excited about it? The outcome? What exactly am I looking for? And number two, do they understand the secret sauce, my hidden agenda, my hidden intention behind what I'm trying to get? And they rate both of those areas on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, if AI doesn't understand, let's say it's a 6 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10, even if it's a 9.5 out of 10, you've asked for a perfect 10 out of 10 for both areas. And AI is going to give you some questions. Now you'll see on this prompt, I'm going to share my screen so we're looking at the same thing. On the prompt here, step 1, the lob, you're checking your vibe. You're giving it your original prompt after you put in some equal signs. These are just equal signs. So what you want to do is just want to copy this whole thing here and paste it into your AI tool, then put your prompt in. Now, here's the thing. When the questions come up, most of us think we have to sit there and say, oh, okay, I've got to answer the questions now. If it doesn't answer its own questions, tell it, and I should put that right here. I'll put that right in here. If it doesn't answer the questions, oops, tell it, I believe you know the answers. This is the trained babysitter that knows how to keep the Oreo cookies hidden. This is the trained babysitter who knows how to get the grumpy kid to bed or make them happy. Yes, AI is going to ask questions. If you tell it, I believe you know, you have the answers already, it kind of goes, yeah, you're right, I do. So there's all this. This is a totally different way of looking at it. So give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down in the chat. How are you feeling right now? Is making sense? You guys are knee deep into this, I can tell. Okay, Lorna's got a 1. Okay, so it's making sense. Awesome. Jody's got a thumbs up. Awesome. Cool. Okay. So step 2, this is all in the same conversation. Once it's arrived at a step at a 10 out of 10, see that right here, 10 out of 10. Once it's arrived at a 10 out of 10 for both areas, both parts, then you're going to ask it only one more prompt. That's the volley. Just copy and paste this whole thing. That's the prompt you're going to give it. Now, again, there's two parts to the prompt, and you're asking AI to rate itself from 1 to 10 and to continue to reiterate until it gets to 10 out of 10. So what we've got here, then you take whatever prompt it comes up with, like, yeah, review it, give it the one eye look over, see if there's any crazy words in there that really don't belong. If it's asking you questions, tell it, I believe you have the answers, and read the answers, because sometimes it can be a little bit off. Like I was working on some stuff for a client today using this system, and it changed the revenue level of the client from like less than 1 million to over 3 million. And I was like, no, this is revenue with less than 1 million. So you still have to read, you still have to give it that one eye look over. It's just like, the adult's going to keep one eye on that babysitter, even though they know that babysitter is really, really good. They don't have to tell the babysitter everything. So once you have the prompt, the second prompt, start a new conversation. And in the new conversation, paste this new prompt and let it go to work. So I'm going to go through an example with you here. So I'm going to copy this. I only have a few windows open, right? All right. So I'm in ChatGPT. Can you see my screen okay in chat? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah? Okay. So I've copied the first prompt. Oops. There we go. All right. So what do we want to ask it? Okay. Uh, what do I want to say here? I'm writing land for all right. I want the landing page to convert at a rate of 5% of traffic from warm audience all right. How can I keep this? This is where the thinking gets different, is if you're focused on the outcome and I want a landing page, what I'm going to do, I'm going to launch a product for the, huh. I'm doing a launch. What do I build? All right, we got a 6 out of 10 for the first section. Oh, a 3 out of the 10 for the understanding. Yeah, I didn't give it any details at all, did I? That was intentional. All I know is you're writing a launch for it, so many unknowns, questions. See what it knows already? It knows it's for founders and marketers to grow a pipeline or revenue. It's guessing what it solves. How does it work? AI and data. Okay, why now? It's the spark behind this launch. It's AI and data overload are making traditional demand. Okay. So I'm going to tell it. Know the answers. This is what's blowing me away. This is what I'm building. I'm building a centralized workflow for people getting ready to run ads. It's a repeatable framework for growth that they can use over and over again. This is interesting. Intelligence layered on top to optimize actions in real time. Even a way to build a demand engine. I don't know about that last one so much. Okay, what they think the secret sauce is, it's not just a CRM, not a funnel hacking tool, not just it's a system of record plus action for demand generation. Oh my gosh. This is fascinating because the idea is to tap into the demand in the market, which is a Eugene Schwartz principle, like Notion meets HubSpot meets growth strategy in a box.
This is cool.
Isn't this like, wow? Oh yeah, clunky campaign tracking tools is what it replaces. Is AI a part of it? Yes. Can you build inside it? Yeah. Okay. The word demand comes from, okay, I'm gonna tell you, you got most of it right. Most of it right. The word demand comes from tapping into the market's, well, if I could type, it would be market's desire. I'm not going to tell it Eugene Schwartz because it should know this. Oh, wow. So we've got a 10 out of 10 for the first part. They understand the task. The secret sauce, the hidden intention, is now they're understanding it, but it's only a 9.5. So here, and I remember I asked it, I want a 10 out of 10. I want it to reiterate until it gets to a 10 out of 10. So here's the last 0.5%. It's got an open question. It's giving me 4 possible answers. It's giving me a 10 out of 1-liner. And then just like you said, Lorna, it's going to say, hey, do you want me to do X, Y, Z, PDQ next? I'm not going to let it do that. Okay. I need you to hit 10 out of 10. So there's the excitement. We're 10 out of 10 there. All right, now we got a 10 out of 10 with the understanding. got a definition, core pillars, a resonance engine, activation layer, feedback loop, what it replaces. Taglines. I didn't ask it for that, but what you're actually launching. Okay, now it's saying we're officially at 10 out of 10. And now again, it's saying, hey, I can go do this and that and the other thing for you. We're not going to let it do that. We're going to go back to our sheet here, the hallucination prevention protocol. We're going to give it the second prompt. We lob the ball. AI lobbed the ball back at us. Now here comes the volley back to AI. So we're going to take the volley. We're going to go over here to ChatGPT. I'm going to paste this prompt right in here. All right, time to raise the stakes. First draft. Remember, I've asked it to reiterate the prompt until it hits 10 out of 10. Okay, we're at 8.5 out of 10 for awesomeness. Why it's not a 10 yet? The secret sauce satisfaction is only a 9 out of 10. Iteration time, version 2. It's refining itself. This is what's blowing me away with this. Poe started to do this yesterday. I would type something into the prompt to correct it. I wouldn't even hit enter and it would reiterate. So we've got final scores. Here's the final prompt. Now, the audience isn't exactly who I wanted because my market is entrepreneurs, coaches, and B2B consultants. All right. Audience is entrepreneurs, coaches, and B2B consultants. Now I've gone in, copied that second prompt and just changed that and learned I'm trying to do its job again. I'm trying to tell the babysitter how to babysit. Instead of just saying, hey, should have been like this, not that. So it updated the prompt and now it's going back and it's checking itself. Why it rocks, additional add-on for different vibes. See this optional add-on? This is where it's starting to hallucinate. I didn't ask for that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this prompt. I'm going to start a new chat. I'm going to paste that prompt in there. It's giving me the whole program on what to do. A signal to system builder. How the workflow, what the feedback loop is, community calibration. How to launch it. So campaign builders, a video, a founding member launch, cohort style, a signature free workshop. Workshop day 1, day 2, day 3, a summary table. Now, see, it's making another suggestion. I'm not going to let it do that. Whatever I choose to do next, I'm going to go back to my hallucination prevention. I'm going to go back to this first step one. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to put it in a fresh chat. And then I'm going to put my prompt in there. Cool or cool.
It's very cool. And I think, I don't know, maybe it's just because I've seen it so much. Like I think that it it's trained, like not that we've trained it, but however it's built is built to give those suggestions. Like I don't, and I could be wrong. I've never considered that going rogue or whatever else. It's just they just want to do more and they're trying to anticipate or well, I don't know what it is, but like I just figure I just say no, I don't want that. Like no, no, that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Like
And
let's carry on.
yeah, for somebody who doesn't know marketing, they're like, oh, I didn't know I needed that. Yeah, let's do that then.
Yeah.
You know, I had somebody that they needed a welcome email sequence. And they literally said to me, well, you know what? One of my friends said I should just have AI do it. Why don't I just do that? And I was like, you don't know marketing, you don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So the suggestions are great. That's terrible advice. I agree, Jody. I about threw up. Uh, but and they did decide to go with somebody professional to do it for them, thank God. But anyhow, this to me, not only do I have to like yeah, I've got to shift how I put a prompt together now. I started doing this Wednesday, and by Saturday, it was suggesting things to me that I would have never thought of, like doing a manifesto. And I was like, what? I would have never thought of that.
Yeah. I mean that's the
Yeah.
thing is that it is you still have to think yourself. Like
You do. You do.
because
You
the
still have to keep one eye on
manifesto,
those answers. Like I had to watch, like, and it got the audience a little whacked out, whatever GTM is, a Google Tag Manager.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I know.
But it, it because it does, like in one of the things, I mean, I really do other things but Rich's course, but that's been a big part of the last 2 months. Um, but just in it mixed up. I think it was they thought it was my son who died instead of my husband, or like it was just one of those kind of weird, like where it kind of went rogue. So there's those things, but um, like sometimes it does have it does bring up things that you want, but what it'll do, like something like the manifesto, you might do it this time and say yes, and next time and say yes, and the next time it's just going to do it because it thinks you like manifestos when that third time isn't a time you want a manifesto. So,
Well, with it, it's
like
only come up once. I
it
have
might,
I've tried to replicate it,
oh,
and
really?
it doesn't come up with it again.
Did you have it do the manifesto?
Um, it came up with the manifesto idea on Saturday. I started playing with that idea on Monday. Yeah, Sunday I took some
Yeah.
time off.
Yeah, it was just kind of well, yeah, please do. Uh, it's um, but it is, like I think if we, not that it would automatically do that, but I think like because it deals with the memory, so it just starts to know what you like. And
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean that you don't change your mind. Like, I don't know what it's going to do when I start doing more marketing stuff again in it after, you know, but there certainly was an improvement in chat from, when I was doing some marketing things before to working on like a lead gen funnel, um, with what it came up with and, looking at different kinds of lead magnets and just all different, like doing some
Yes.
work with that. So like there certainly has been some improvement, but, and,
And speaking of lead magnets, I've not forgotten about my promise to help you with that.
oh,
Um, I always think I'm going to do it at the end of the day, and then I crash on the. Yeah,
no,
I reviewed a review for the training course I did last week, a view on the last place I lived in and your lead magnet.
Yeah. Well, and yeah,
I
the lead
apologize about
magnet, I
that.
found a hole that needs to be fixed. So,
Okay.
it's, I still want to do
The
it.
biggest stopper for me is I'm thinking too much. I looked at the second question and went,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
good.
So
I still like
although
the
it should only
feedback.
take 10 to 15 minutes to do it, it's that time of how do I respond to that?
Yeah.
And my nature is I've got this balance thing going on. So this is why I don't do well on true false questions. I will think through every scenario and then confuse the crap out of my mind and never know what the true false real answer was.
Don't do the Clifton Strengths Finder quiz thing then. I just did it yesterday and it's like I timed out on one of the questions and the next ones was just like, because it's the comparison stuff and you're going, well, yeah, like some's easy, but others are like, well, in this situation I'm like this and in that situation I'm like this. Like I don't know how to pick. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's fun. But
But
I think if you do get a chance to do it, it's still going to be helpful because I do want to.
okay,
I
I
think
promise.
there's a, because it's using AI, I think that it's something that I
Yeah, you
want to
should.
get
You
right,
should
but it's
absolutely pursue that. Absolutely. So
gonna
back
take
to
a
this
bit.
prompt here. Are you excited about trying it out? How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I am. I'm working on the lead gen thing
And
this
Jody, feel free to put in the chat
afternoon,
what you're
so
thinking.
I'm thinking I might try it this afternoon. So
Awesome. Yeah, and the first time you do it, it's gonna feel clunky. It's gonna feel like, what? I mean, I think it was like Friday afternoon. I tried to use it and then I got frustrated, went back to my old way, and it went real sideways and really weird. And then I was like, Teresa, you either follow the instructions or don't. So I started again. I followed the instructions. I was like, take your time. And it made sense. I got it done.
cool.
Yeah.
That could be my downfall, following instructions. Isn't there an AI tool for that?
Well, there's only two steps. Step one, step two, lob volley, lob volley. Yeah.
All right.
Get the ball over the net, let the ball come back to you. Yeah. Set up a new game, send the ball over again. I tried to
Yeah.
change it enough to make it more fun. Mercer's version was very school style. And I see Jody, I see your comment. You're interested to see how Claude responds and if it needs it. But you know what? I can't wait to hear what happens. Because like I said, I tried it with ChatGPT, did pretty good. I tried it with Claude, and Claude did okay with it. And then once I went to Poe, and I'm pretty sure it was ChatGPT that gave me the manifesto idea. And then Claude, um, I didn't do as much. I got I started with Claude, and I was like, I'm gonna try Poe because Poe uses both. And the first time I did it with Poe, it was not fun. I'll try it again, Teresa. If you got something wrong. And now it's like a oof. It like I said, it's reiterating the prompt before I can even answer the question.
Yeah, that's a mind-blowing
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And
Pretty
does it
cool.
reiterate, like, is it reiterating accurately? Like,
Accurately, yes.
has it ever hallucinated in the reiteration?
Nope.
No.
That's why I wanted to call it something fun. I thought, well, hallucination prevention prompt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mercer calls it ping pong prompting.
Ping pong prompting.
Yeah.
I
I
saw,
wanted to share this with all of you guys. And when you're listening to the recording, I'm going to put the recording. I'll put it in the Facebook group. I'll also put it in the school community, so I'll have access in both places. Now remember, I'm only going to keep using the Facebook group for a few more months. So get yourself into the school community so you don't lose track of anything. And what's nice about the school community is we can chat right in there, and the calendar's right there with the links on it. So you can look like, is there a call today?
yeah,
You just look at the calendar, if there's a call or not.
good.
Yeah. Jody, I'm glad you're enjoying school. I'm really happy with the choice I made. Yeah. Circle's nice, but it doesn't have like I don't know, there's just something missing there. Yeah.
They, can I just,
You, if you know anybody who's curious, one of the things I'm doing with the new school community is I'm running a 14-day free trial. So for 14 days, somebody can join the school community and they have access to 5 AI bonus trainings. And it's things like Shannon McCaffrey's use of how she uses GPTs. It's Scott Hartley's method for using Notebook LM. It's Dr. Jean Hess's advanced prompt training she did for us, which is almost extinct now. Yeah, so there's 5, so there's 5 bonus trainings in that they have access to. And I'm saying 2 weeks, they get access to at least 1 live call with us.
Okay,
So, and then after that, it's $37.
cool.
Yeah, so if you know anybody who's interested, feel free to pass on the link to them.
I just, I watched a video yesterday. I just thought I'd share if that's okay. It's really just quick information, and it's, what he did was make ChatGPT, Claude, and Grok compete with each other. So that he had like the output from chat, and then he'd go to Claude and say, or he would give the output to all 3 of them, but then he would go back to them and say, well, here, I thought you were the best LLM, but like, this is, this is what chat gave me, and it's a 9 out of 10, and all you gave me is a 3 out of 10. How can you improve it?
Yeah.
So he did that with all of them. It was it was just like a 7-minute video. It was, maybe I'll put it in the group because it's like there's
Yeah,
no,
if you could put that in the school community, that'd be fun.
yeah,
I would love to see
yeah.
that.
It's it's pretty cool, and he was using it for cold, like cold outreach copy. Um,
Oh,
so
interesting.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
share that with in the school community.
yeah,
That'd be fun to check out. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna let you both
right.
go and enjoy the new prompt hallucination
Yeah,
prevention
thank you.
prompting method.
Yes, enjoy
I
the
can't wait
beach
to see
or
what you do with it. Feel free to comment in the school community about what results you're getting. If you have any hiccups or questions, I just think it's a cool new way to look at the stuff it produced.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what my head's blown away already by it.
Yeah. Oh, and mine will be blown away when I start to do it, and it'll likely also get pretty clogged as I start to work through it. But
Take breaks.
the
Take
the
breaks. Breaks are
the
good. 33 minutes, just like Eugene Sports
33
says.
minutes, yeah,
33
exactly.
minutes.
Yeah.
Get walk around for 10.
Yeah,
I love
working
it.
on that. And I don't do that enough.
Awesome. You got it. You're
Super.
gonna get it.
Awesome. All right. Keep posting those pictures. You make me feel so peaceful when I see
Oh,
pictures of Albania. Yeah.
I
It
found a
looks
unique
beautiful.
spot. Yeah. It's
Beautiful.
I just wish it was a little warmer.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah. It's
Can't
all
have
good.
everything, right? Yeah.
And
Glad you're enjoying the fix.
nothing good or bad lasts forever.
Yeah. Everything's temporary. Enjoy it while it's here.
Yeah, exactly.
Big
All
hugs.
right.
Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.